you have to do a marking of anatomical landmarks. The anatomical landmark for the spine range of motion, this is called PSIS. What is this called? PSIS. So between the PSIS, you have to draw a line. Okay? You have to draw a line between the PSIS that corresponds to S2. Okay, what is that corresponds to? S2. Okay, so this is the place where you are going to mark for him. So, how to identify the PSI? If you see the, can you see the depression?
Yes.
Can you see this depression? So this is the place where it is called PSIS. So you have to mark a line which joins these two PSIS. Okay? So that particular place, I am going to mark with the pen, a small mark. Okay, so I will place it onto the, between the two PSIS, I will mark a line. Then I have to measure 15 centimeters. How much?
15.
15 centimeters. From that particular point to 15 centimeters, I have to measure and draw another line. So now what is the distance between here and here?
15.
15 centimeters. Now what I will ask my patient to do is, I want to measure now lumbar flexion. What I am measuring? Lumbar flexion. So now can you bend forward? Bend fully. Maximum. Now I am going to measure the distance between this line and this line. Now it is how much? Can you see? 20. Can you bend more? More? Little more? Not possible? That much? Okay, Galas. Relax. So now it became 20. Okay? So previously it is 15. Now it became 20. Usually the range of motion for the spine is 6 to 9 centimeters. When you flex, you should have from 6 centimeters difference to 9 centimeters difference. That is normal. Okay? So that is for lumbar flexion. The second one is for extension. Now we know the distance between these two lines, it is 15 centimeters. Now can you do extension? Excellent, very good. So when he is doing extension,
لا استنى عشان نحسب.
see now it became 13. Relax. So it became 13. So that means 2 to 4 degrees or 2 to 4 centimeters less if it becomes, then it is normal. Okay? When you do a flexion, it should increase 6 to 9 centimeters. When you do extension, it should decrease 2 to 4 centimeters. So this is normal range of motion for lumbar flexion and lumbar extension. This technique name is called as Schober's technique. What is this technique? Schober's technique. Okay?
Okay.
So how to do? First important point is find out the PSIs. If you expose the person's the sacrum area, you will see two depressions. Okay? Two depressions. So those are PSIs. Draw a joining line between PSIS to PSIS. This is the joining line you have to draw. Okay? So this is the corresponding line. From here, measure for 15 centimeters. Okay? And after that, you ask the person to bend, you will get the difference of 6 to 9 centimeters. If you get extension, it will decrease it to 2 to 4 centimeters. Okay?
Okay.
So this is about flexion and extension. Can you come here again? Now we can measure the lateral flexion. Lateral flexion means this is the lateral flexion for the lumbar spine. So to measure the lateral flexion, the fulcrum is the same line where you have drawn. Okay, the line between two PSIs, that is the fulcrum. in the center, that is the center fulcrum. The movable arm to the spine, okay, and the stable arm perpendicular to the floor.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so imagine here is the line, that is the fulcrum. Put it into the spine. Can you bend it to your right side? Where?
بدل ما تمشي.
Okay. So this is 180 to 150 he got. So that is around 30 degrees.
30 degree.
But normally it will be 45 degrees.
45.
Okay. 0 to 45 degrees is the normal lateral flexion to the spine. Especially this happens in the lumbar spine.
Yes.
So you have to measure towards the right, that is right lateral flexion. If you measure toward the left, then it is left lateral flexion. Both is same, 45 degrees from the center.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
So here, for lateral flexion, the fulcrum is line joining between the PSIS, that is the fulcrum. Okay? The movable arm corresponds to the spinous process. Okay? The stable arm corresponds to the perpendicular to the floor. Okay, exactly straight. Then you will ask the person to do a lateral flexion and measures the range of motion in the lateral flexion. This is about lateral flexion. So we finished lumbar flexion, lumbar extension. We finished right lateral flexion, left lateral flexion. Clear?
Yes.
Now we are going to do rotation. What we are going to do?
Rotation.
Rotation. Okay? So now can you sit there? Yeah, that's it.
منتجين نعرف كيف نقص.
So when we have to measure the rotation, we have to be there in the transverse axis. You know transverse axis? Sagittal, coronal, transverse or horizontal axis. So because rotation happens in the transverse plane. Okay, this will be the transverse plane, how the rotation happens. So to measure it, can you go little front? Yes, yes. To measure it, I will be above the patient, okay? Or I can make the patient sit down on a table and I will be standing onto the bench or chair or something.
Yes.
So now I am going to measure the rotation. This is what is
Rotation.
I am going to measure. So, head straight. Tell your patient, don't rotate the head. Okay, because if you rotate the head, it is cervical range of motion. So we want to measure the spine range of motion, not the cervical alone. So don't move your head. Okay. When you move, you have to move here with this body. Okay. So now the fulcrum is called as vertex. Vertex is highest point on the head. If you palpate the head, the maximum, the topmost point of the head, that will be the fulcrum. Okay. Now the movable arm is to the shoulder. Acromion process of the shoulder, that is the movable arm correspondence to. The stable arm corresponds to the nose. Okay, or the stable arm is perpendicular to the body, straight toward the body. Now what I will do, I will ask the person to, can you turn towards right side? Yes, excellent. Excellent. Correct, you are correct. Okay, just wait. Vertex, perpendicular line and the movable arm to the acromion process. Can you turn to the right? Excellent, very good. Okay. So this has changed from 90 degrees to 40 degrees. So how much is the movement?
50.
50 degrees. So it is approximately 50 degrees he has gone to the right side.
Yes.
Same thing we have to see for the
Left side.
So this is right rotation and left rotation in the lumbar and thoracic spine. So this finishes the whole movements in the thoracolumbar section, that is flexion, extension, lateral flexion and rotation. Clear?
Clear. That's it.
Yeah. Standing is comfortable or sitting is comfortable?
ايش اللي يريحك واقف ولا جالس؟
You want to sit or stand?
تبغى تجلس ولا
Standing.
تجلس؟
Okay. So,
ايش فيك علقت؟
and see, we have to arrange the person. This is the normal posture. Okay? As soon as the ear goes out of the shoulder border, that means cervical spine is like this. The cervical spine has to be there on the shoulder. So I'll arrange the person, cervical spine on the shoulder, shoulders little back. Okay? This is the normal relaxed position. Relax there. Now the stable arm, the fulcrum, is the
ايه
external auditory meatus.
auditory
The hole in the ear,
Yes.
that is called anatomically external, that means
External,
outside.
yes.
Auditory, that means hearing. Meatus, that means hole.
Ah.
External auditory meatus.
meatus.
So that will be the fulcrum. The stable arm corresponds to the temporal bone.
Yes.
Okay, the temporal bone. The mobile arm corresponds to the tip of the nose. Okay. Now I am starting at 90. Now what you have to do is you have to bend down like this. Okay.
تنزل راسك.
Yeah. So can you bend down, 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 full? That's it. Okay. So I started at 90 and went up to 150, which is around 60 degrees. So usually it can go up to 90 degrees. 0 to 80 to 90 degrees, that is the normal range for cervical flexion. Okay?
60.
He got 60, but normal is 80 to 90.
18.
Extension also, same procedure. Standing, if your patient is not able to stand, then sitting, comfortable position. Keep the fulcrum in the external auditory meatus, stable arm to the temporal bone, mobile arm to the tip of the nose. Okay?
ترجع
And
راسك
ask
ورا.
your, can you do extension? Yes. More? More? Well, that's it? Okay. So from again 90 to 40 I got. That will be 50 degrees.
50 or
So usually, as I said, it is 70 degrees, which is normal for extension. Flexion is 0 to 80 to 90 degrees.
70 ها.
Most of the time,
Extension 70.
what I have observed in this particular place, the cervical range of motions are decreased, maybe because of many reasons. Okay? Rotations are good, but flexion extension are less. That may be because of the way of the cap what you are using, or the thing what you are putting on the head. That may be the reasons, but usually the cervical range of motions are less here. So that is flexion and extension for the cervical spine. Clear?
Clear.
Next, can you turn towards? Okay. Now, for lateral flexion, what we have to feel is we have to feel two bony landmarks. Can you loosen it a little? So this is yes C7. Okay, when you bend your head, the maximum tipmost point you get for the cervical spine, that is C7. Come straight. And next is occipital protuberance. What is it? Occipital protuberance or occiput on the head. So these are the 2 points, landmarks. So fulcrum C7. Okay. The mobile arm corresponds to occipital protuberance. Okay, can you come back? Yes, there. Now, can you bend your head to right side? This side. This side. Bend.
لف راسك إلى اليمين.
No, no, no
يمين.
turn. Bend.
كذا هي.
Ah,
لا لا.
Wait, wait, wait. So this is bend. Okay? This is bend. Okay. Yes. My mistake. Straight. Straight. Right. Okay, see, bend to the right.
أكثر شيء تقدر.
Okay? Okay. Now come back. Bend to the left. Excellent. Very good. Again neutral. Come back. Very good. Okay. So I had around 180 to 140, which is around 40
40,
degrees,
40.
35 to 40 degrees. That side, opposite side also 35 to 40 degrees. Usually, normally it is
50.
45 degrees.
45.
0 to 45 degrees is usually the lateral flexion normal range. Okay?
Okay.
So flexion is 70 to 80 to 90.
Yeah.
Extension is
Same.
70. This is 45,
45.
45 to both the sides. Now the remaining is the rotation. Okay? The rotation you can do best with the inclinometer. What is this?
Incline.
Inclinometer. So this you can use to measure the rotations. So how to do the measurement for rotation we will see. Head here.
على بطنك. عند رأسك.
Little back.
قدم يبغى.
Relax. Painful? Yes. No. So head should be in neutral position. Usually you can arrange this inclinometer. This is called bubble inclinometer. You can see the blue column is a air bubble which is moving. Can you see? So this is what the measurement which is going to give to you. So you have to keep onto the cervical head like this, onto the forehead. So see to that this is perpendicular. Okay. Now what you can do is, can you turn towards the, yes, full, excellent. So he has got up to 75 degrees. To the left, turn. Oh, he got up to 85 or 90 degrees into the right. So that means when you turn this, automatically you will get the range of motion in this particular bubble inclinometer. Normally it is, you can get up, thank you.
Super.
Normally it is 90 degrees. Right rotation 90 degrees, left rotation 90 degrees. So if your patient has some problem to one side rotation, you can measure it with this particular bubble inclinometer. You can do it with goniometer also by keeping again the same, like how you did for the spine. Same thing, you can make the person sit. Okay? At this particular time, he should not move shoulder. Don't move the shoulder. Keep the goniometer like that only, how we have kept for the spine. Corresponds to the shoulder and corresponds to the head. Okay? Now when the person turns the head, you can measure the range of motion by using goniometer. Okay? But this is easier than that.
Yes.
So I am trying to use this particular method than that. If this is not available, then you can do with goniometer.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
That is.
So now I want two persons or sorry, not two, the groups, 5 people or 6 people as a group, and I want in the back flexion extension, lateral flexions,
rotation.
rotations, and in the cervical spine flexion extension.